Hey folks, well today I want to take a look at a knife that I have reviewed previously. I belong to, they call it the Gauntlet, which is basically a bunch of YouTube reviewers who get knives, well, donated really to them, or lent to them is a better way of saying it. And we ship it amongst ourselves and do reviews of that knife and ship it on to the next person. And after that knife is done being reviewed, we send it back to the manufacturer. Well, the knife that I reviewed was this Buscrafter HC by Wright knives. And when I got this knife, well, let me backtrack. The Gauntlet is a great idea. I absolutely love it because when you are reviewing a knife that you have to give back, folks sometimes maybe take that review a little more seriously. In other words, you're not getting anything out of it other than, you know, perhaps content for your YouTube channel, and also just awesome deal being able to handle all these knives. But the only kind of downside of it for us, or for me, is that I have to give the knife back, and I don't get a month to try it out, or 3 months to try it out, or 6 months, whatever. I don't get to try it out as thoroughly, maybe, or put it through as many different tests as I would like to. One thing I did with this review is I'll link the video that I did in this video. But what I did is I did a 1-stick oak fire, I did a bow drill fire with it, and I did a tri-stick with it. And one of the things I said when I was doing the tri-stick was that the knife was a little bit thin on the back side. I'll put all the specs in the description of the video. I believe it's 3/32. It's slightly less than 1/8 of an inch, so 3/32. But that was basically my only complaint for it. I really like this knife, to be honest with you. It's the handle fills my hand real nice. It's maybe a little bit smaller than a knife that I would normally carry, but having said that, it's basically, spot on for bushcraft, or for carving wood and carving stuff with it. But with that thinner blade, I've always wanted to do some game processing with it. Unfortunately, like I said, with the Gauntlet, you got to give the knife back. I can't process a deer. It's not deer season. I don't have any deer. Oh man, I love it when a bug crawls in my ear. But it is fishing season, and so I was able to go out and do a lot of fishing, and I processed 2 catfish with this knife. Alright, Buscrafter HC by Wright knives. Got a nice sized catfish here. We're going to try and process this guy down. There's a big old fish my daughter caught. Look at that. Look at all that meat. That's a slab of meat right there. I'm not the best at filleting catfish, but that's alright. I don't need them to be one solid chunk of meat. We can make little nuggets out of this part right here. That's not bad. There ain't much meat left on him there. Beautiful. Tiny bit left on there. It's alright. I can take another swipe at it here. It's a big fish. Alright, well, we got lucky and got another catfish. So, once again with the Buscrafter HC, gonna fillet them up. Nice. So anyway, I processed those catfish down, and now what I want to do is take it in the kitchen and just do a little bit of a vegetable prep with it, and see how it holds up. So, all right, let's take it in the kitchen and see what happens. This isn't how I normally slice an onion, but there was a little bit of a bad spot on it. And not really bad, just kind of a soft spot, and I wanted to cut that off. But what I'm doing here is just seeing how thin a slices I can do with this. That's a pretty thin slice right there. That's crazy. This thing is a very good bushcraft knife, good game processing knife, and now I'm cutting up some onions with it, and it's just making paper thin slices. And I wish I had a tomato, because, you know, kind of tomato is the test. You know, you want to do it, it's usually you definitely have to have a sharp knife to go through a tomato, and onion not so much, but still, I mean, to be able to just mess around and throw off little slices like that is pretty cool. It's good size so that it can cut through the entire onion. You know, it's an okay size onion. It's not like it's huge or anything, but this is a good kitchen prep knife for sure. And I think that was overlooked when I did my video, just because there's only so much I can fit in one video. Maybe feather stick a little onion. I don't think I've ever done that before. Oh, I might as well finish it up. I guess we're gonna have quesadillas later. Alright folks, well, like I said, I just kind of thought this knife deserved to have a little bit more testing done to it, and I like the knife a lot, and there were just some certain tests that like I said, I just wasn't able to get to that I was able to do now. Now, I'm sure there's going to be a comment. This is a 1075 knife, and I know there's going to be a comment regarding the Condor bush lore or a Condor type knife. And I'll just say this about that. I reviewed the Condor. I liked the Condor. I thought it was a pretty good knife, and especially it's pretty reasonable. I think it's like 40 bucks or something. The problem that I had, or that I can see with it, is if you go back and look at that video and you read the comments, not everybody gets as good a knife as I got. In other words, the quality control on their knives is not up to snuff. You will not find any quality control issues with this knife, with an LT Wright knife. You just won't. And I like supporting American companies, and I have zero problem paying a little bit more for quality and for American made. So that's my take on it. Yeah, it's 1075, but when they heat treat it, it can overcome some of the metal issues, you might say. So this is heat treated correctly, and you saw during my first video, if you watch my first video, I really didn't have any problems at all with it dulling. It dulled like a normal knife would. I mean, I pounded it through an oak stick, made a bow drill fire, and did a tri-stick on a hardwood dowel. The other night I filleted 2 catfish, and for you fishermen out there, you know how hard it is to get through fish skin. You need a very sharp knife, and this one, it was obvious this knife was real sharp. After my second catfish, I did go ahead and touch it up. I used, I've got a very, very just super smooth ceramic stone. I touched it up on that, and then I've got a little strop that I made out of a belt that I glued to like a 1x1, and just stropped it up, and it's shaving sharp again. So I've got no complaints about this 1075 steel at all. So something like this paired with that overland machete, that'd be a pretty good setup if you ask me. I mean, you've got your little fine carving, game processing, fish filleting type knife, and then you've got your overland machete for all your shelter building or all your big wood processing type things. That'd be pretty tough to beat that. And the patinas are very similar, so it'd be like a matching set. I don't know. I think it's pretty cool. So, all right, guys. Hope you liked the video. Take care.